Welcome to the HESCO barrier. It's Bradley. Know those well. Although I was always in a light division, I always felt comfortable when these things were usually at your FOB or if you got one assigned to your ambush position or out on patrol. We used them in Germany, used them in rode around in them out at NTC in California, out in the desert, lots of maneuvers. This is the tow version, carry two TOW 2 improved anti-tank missiles. It's your Bushmaster cannon. Thing's a beast, especially with the additional armor plate they added. That was something. It's all the realities of war. We talk about the movie The Pentagon Wars with oh, what's his name? Can't remember. Really famous movie from the 90s about the Bradley and how they built it and why it took so long and why it's so expensive. But in the end, the Brad's a beast. It can take some hits. It can get you into the fight. And these HESCO barriers will stop just about anything, except for depleted uranium. One of those main gun rounds will go through this. Like, it'll seriously break up the thing. But anyway, what I wanted to show you, normally these are built by engineers or contractors. If you built one at an improved fighting position, you could realistically fill one of these by hand. They were made out of these wire frames, and you get your good 2 or 3 feet of 1 yard of dirt on either side in every direction. Things make a beast. I've seen them stacked. I mean, here's a thing like they had in Afghanistan. I've seen them stacked as high as 5 high. I mean, they're still, basically you build a berm, notice there's flowers growing, or weeds growing out of the top of that one. But contractors built them. When you go, I mean, it's really great for forming something quick, especially command posts. Anything that's going to be anywhere for a while. Notice here, I don't want to see how it's, well, since you're always improving your fighting position, this is one thing that always made me uncomfortable. These are great for direct fire. You don't want to be around them or under them for artillery, but air bursts or direct hit from a mortar. This is hollow because you have to be careful, and I'm pretty sure you can see here that's sagging a bit. I don't know how old this is, how quickly these things can go, but they use them at home now because they're so, I mean, here's a picture. These are really famous for when there's flash floods and flooding and dike breaks, especially along the Mississippi or the Plains rivers. These things, you can throw these things insanely fast compared to sandbags. I mean, it's pretty intentional. But you can see here that it's actually hollow behind it because, and even now it's sagging. I wish I had my drone. I could show you overhead. Anyway, basically this hardens the position to the point where your only option is to hit it from overhead. Bradley here in this position, I mean, this is probably 2 or 3 days after getting someplace. There's no camo, it's chalked, chained, locked up, antennas are all off, pulling on the old fire handle. This Bradley can take anything. Anybody inside down inside the driver's hatch should be safe. After a while, and you build your range fan, or don't build your range fan, you clear your ranges of fire and you do your range sector cards. This guy, they will eventually build up 2-3 high on the sides until you get full hull defilade. And then even after that, since you're always improving your position. I mean, in Iraq, I saw overhead cover for a fighting position for an M1 tank and a striker, but hey, same thing. If you're there long enough, you keep on building. Eventually, if you go to Korea, you will see just massive amounts of concrete along the DMZ. That's why South Korea is not really worried about it anymore. Okay. Now this whole area used to be wide open to the general public. Across the way is I think it's state property. It's been a long time since I got the guided tour. Anyway, before the war, you could walk across the road. Now they have, you'll see, the big iron angled thing break. And why do we do that? Because after 9/11, we're worried about our IEDs. And for those of you who never had to clear routes and MSRs before, your drains, whoa, I mean your tunnels under your drainage ditches, almost guaranteed place to find IEDs or stashed or something killed. There's we'll take a few minutes. I'm going to save battery and save time. I'm going to make my way over here to this Hellcat, which is the sole reason why I stopped along the way. We'll go into this bunker position. Oh, these old blackout light marks they have for walking at night. Some sort of barbecue tent set up here. Somebody's got something set up. Oh, they're really nice. Okay. Fighting positions. Generally, they're okay. Honestly, unless they have overhead cover. I mean, they're great against direct fire, but no, not so much against we'll walk in and see. Like I said, all the FOBs I ever went to, all of our trench lines were called them hurricane barriers at first. Says use caution. Yeah, it's World War I trench. I'm not going down in there. It sucked. However, it kept millions of men alive. There's a lot of things people don't understand about World War I. There's, oh, by the way, there's a really great podcast about World War I. This guy, I forget his name. I'm walking today. There's your wire for World War I era. Not a whole lot of that fighting. I mean, that, because usually they were 3 or 4 lines deep. Every 100 yards or so, there was another line of trenches. They had supply bunkers, fuel, ammo, everything underground. It was amazing. Once the Germans built the Hindenburg line, you've seen what's left of that. You're, holy crap. I mean, we were even afraid of it in World War I. This is the sole reason I pulled over. This is the M18. I'm going to take a picture with my regular phone. But this is a Hellcat that you find in War Thunder. Anyway, World War II, these were officially badasses. The war planners with the Hellcat took so long, but they had a whole tank destroyer doctrine. It was America's version of the Blitzkrieg, because a whole bunch of generals were convinced that tank destroyers needed to kill tanks. And we'll probably get in trouble because I'm going to show you the biggest weakness of the Hellcat. A, they had no armor. By the way, some of these are still in service in Venezuela in South America. So it's 70 some odd year old vehicle. It's still, I mean, you can hear it. I mean, not a whole lot of thing. Americans, we love our machine guns. But if you'll notice, you see that canvas top over it? That's to keep rain out. Because to fit for, at the time, this gigantic gun. I'm forgetting, I think it's a 75 or 76, can't remember off the top of my head. Anyway, badass tank destroyer. You kill a lot of Germans for one major problem. It had a very, well, thin armor because it was supposed to go fast, basically like a scout vehicle. The radio sucked, and it had no roof. So the artillery, if you fired, all you had to do was blow HE at you, hit you with some shrapnel, do shrapnel rounds and or air bursts. Yes, it was a badass tank, but it had a canvas top. And in the world of fire and maneuver, oh yeah. 76 millimeters, 22 feet long, 9 feet high, or correction, 1/2 feet high, 9 feet wide. Shot AP and HE. It was a smooth ride. They had a stabilizer, one of the first. They could reach 50 miles an hour in open country. I don't remember the Hellcat's combat history, but it was a badass vehicle, and ever since we've spent, with the exception of the very, very thin canvas roof, they had a hell of a lot of firepower. Alright, next on the line, we make our way past the World War II era. I think those are POW barracks. Pardon me?
Oh no, we were talking about my husband over there.
Oh.
Can't miss you with that shirt on.
I know.
I like to let people know where I'm at. Yeah, these ladies are laughing at my, they're laughing at my, I'm wearing a tie-dyed shirt. I'll do that when I fly my drones because I don't want people to get upset. I want people to know I'm here, know I'm there. Stuff like that. I like these split rail fences. That's Civil War era. In case you're wondering, that's a type of fence that really screwed up the Confederates at Gettysburg. They do not.
Hello.
Hi.
They did not.